one another, not just in the easy times, but especially in these harder, darker times. This past week and a half has reminded me of how fragile life can be. In a couple of seconds, countless lives were changed. The tragedy on our campus has reminded me that violence doesn't just happen out there in the world somewhere, doesn't touch me, but it can touch so much closer than we've even imagined. It has touched our campus, it has touched our classrooms, our friends, and our families. It has reminded us how deeply, in times of need, we utterly and desperately need each other. As many of us here, students, faculty, staff, community members, learned so unfortunately, is that when you're running for your life, scared, and not knowing what's going to happen, those differences between us that used to seem so big turn into something so small. Why? Why does it take a tragedy for us to look and see that at the end of the day, we're all human? Why do we wait for a wife and children to lose their husband and father to say enough? And how in a time of tragedy, instead of coming together, do we continue to attack and isolate one another? In moments like this, it can be tempting to close ourselves off, to build walls around our pain, to put blame on one person or on one opinion, or sometimes on a whole group of people. We as a community need to stop villainizing those we may not understand, we may disagree with, or may have been hurt from. We must stop putting labels on one another. All these labels do is divide us and limit how we see one another. When we treat each other based on these labels we give, that divide continues to grow and grow and grow. It becomes easier to dehumanize each other because we don't remember the basic truth that we are all humans, endowed with the inherent right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Peace, real peace, is never found in isolation or in blame or, most importantly, in violence. It's found in community. One of the things to me that makes UVU so special, that I've devastated for students in our community here, is that we live by a promise that this is a place for you, for each of us, no matter where we come from, what we believe, or how we see the world. This was a place where we all belonged. And this is still a place where we all belong. We need to ensure that the phrase, "a place for you," does not just stay a cute promise or the saying that we have on the wall, but we make it more than just these words. It must become something that we live. Living it means choosing to see one another not as enemies, not as these stereotypes, and most importantly, not less than someone deserving of life, but as people, as fellow human beings, a person with stories, a person with families, a person with struggles, but most importantly, a person with dreams. Too often we fall into this trap that convinces us that we're divided into sides, that we're enemies because we disagree, or because we see the world differently. But here, in this community, here at UVU, we have the chance to be something different. We can show the world what it means to listen. We can be the kind of place where disagreement doesn't erase our dignity, where differences don't erase our humanity. We can be an example to a hurt community and an even more broken nation. My invitation tonight is simple. Let's not let this tragedy define us and this university and this community that we love. But let's define this moment by how we will respond. Myself, as well as countless others, have been deeply, deeply impacted from this experience. If it feels too much or too heavy, know that you're not alone. And please make sure you reach out to a professional for help. But I wish to share one feeling I've had, and it's this feeling of being shaken up. For those that were on campus that day, you probably felt that same shaken up. Since we're a university, I feel like it's appropriate to share some insights from physics and psychology that I've had. In physics, there's a law called the law of conservation of energy. Right? This law states that energy isn't created or destroyed, but instead it transforms. In psychology, Sigmund Freud, a significant figure in psychology, shares an example of an emotional hydraulics, stating that our instincts or emotions can build up, creating a sense of pressure and energy waiting to be released. And we must learn how we can revert that emotion into action instead of allowing it to eventually become too much to control. I realized maybe these feelings aren't fully bad. To be shaken up, to be confused, to be conflicted, to be in fear. Maybe it's in this moment where we feel shaken, where we feel unsure, or we don't know what to do, that we have to make the most important decision. I have to be proactive and redirect these feelings of pain, these feelings of guilt, these feelings of fear, everything in between, and turn it into action, which I commit to you that I will be doing. The question I would ask everyone here is, are we going to shake ourselves into action? Are we going to allow these feelings to shut us down and continue to further this divide? Like I said, I'm choosing to be shaken into action, to build relationships instead of hostility, to strive for understanding instead of judgment, and to give grace instead of punishment. I'm also choosing to have hope. Hope in you. Hope that everyone here tonight, that we move forward together and show the nation what it means to love your neighbor. Let's show the community, the nation, and the world what our core principle of exceptional care looks like, by how we show compassion before casting judgment, by how we decide to listen instead of assume, by how we embody resilience even when we feel our hope is lost. We have a new responsibility, whether you were ready for it or not. When someone in our community feels invisible, let's be the one who notices. When someone feels overwhelmed, let's be the one who sits and listens. When someone feels alone, let's be the one who sits beside them. Because in those small and those simple and those ordinary actions is where we will find extraordinary peace. And I can promise you that. Because the past couple of days, when I've seen myself, my fellow students, and every single stranger on our campus lean into their humanity and decide to love first, I've seen spirits rise, bringing our whole community with them. But it takes each of us. I hope one day, when we look back on this time, we don't only remember the fear and the loss. I hope we also remember the moments of kindness, the moments of courage, the moments when we chose to see each other as human and chose to walk forward together despite our differences. That is how peace begins. That is how hope grows, and that is how healing will truly happen. So tonight, let's make this our moment. Let peace begin with me. Let peace begin with us. with you. Let peace begin with us, and let this be the moment now. As we come to the close of this vigil, I want to acknowledge the individuals that will be joining me on the stage. We have students from around our university who will be taking position on the choir stands in the back, as well as the student body presidents from all around our state: Utah State University, Weber State University, the University of Utah, Westminster University, Salt Lake Community College, Brigham Young University, Snow College, Southern Utah University, and Utah Tech University. I also want to take the time to acknowledge each one of you who gathered here tonight with us, or those that are watching from afar. Your being here is a reminder that even in the hardest times and in these hardest moments, we do not face them alone. We are all here to join in this movement. A moment where we together commit to unity. A moment where we together commit to healing. A moment where we together commit to humanity. Together, we have grieved. But we have also remembered what humanity can look like. And we have chosen to stand as a community that believes in peace, in dignity, and in the power of hope. In your hands, please take out your candle. And if you haven't so, join us in lighting our candle. And as we light them together, let these flames represent more than this simple night. Let them be a promise that we will carry this light into the places where darkness lingers. That we will keep choosing compassion even when it is hard. That we will see each other as humans first. As you light, lift your candle high, and if you're able, please stand with us. Words of unity, of peace, of respect. Be sure to not let them only stay on this screen above us, but allow them to find a place in your hearts and in our daily lives. And as we leave tonight, may these small lights remind us of a greater truth, that peace can begin here with us. And let this truly be the moment now where hope rises, where healing begins, and where we walk forward together. Thank you.
On behalf of Utah Valley University, thank you for being with us this afternoon. As we conclude the Vigil for Unity, we remember Charlie Kirk, and we hold his family, our students, and our community in our hearts. May we carry forward the spirit of peace, respect, and unity into the days ahead. Please exit peacefully and take care of one another.